Alright y'all, what's going on? Welcome back to another video, man. And I want to talk about Batman Part 2, mostly about the story or my predictions of how the story is going to go down. I'm not going to talk about like Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. No. I'm just talking about like solely like what I think the story will be about. Because, making a script for Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3, dog, I'm not good with that shit, bro. Like, deadass, I am not. Maybe if I took my time with it, maybe I'll fucking, come up with something. But right now, in this, state, I can't, dude. I am not good at that shit. But yeah, man, this is how I think the story's gonna go down. We already know who, has been casted. Sebastian Stan is going to be Harvey Dent. Scarlett Johansson will be Gilda Dent. And I believe they've already casted Harvey Dent's father as well. And I feel like Harvey Dent's father is going to play a huge role in this movie. I believe Troyo Boy has already said that Harvey Dent's father might be associated with the Court of Owls, and I totally agree with him. I think he's going to be associated with the Court of Owls. Not only that, I think this story is going to be influenced by the Court of Owls by Scott Snyder, and also the Batman Unburied Part 2, or not Part 2, Season 2. And if y'all don't know about Batman Unburied is a audio adventure type, story in Spotify. If y'all have not checked that out, please go check it out because that is so fire, bro. But yeah, I mostly think that this story is going to be heavily influenced by Batman Unburied Season 2. And in that story, man, we get this whole Court of Owls thing. But in that story, I don't know if this is already like, talked about in the comics. I haven't read too much Batman comics. Besides, the Court of Owls saga, Batman Who Laughs, I believe Batman Last Night on Earth or something like that. Or The Last Night, Batman City of Madness. Anyways, if they have talked about this already, if they have already done this in the comics, then my fault, if I don't make a reference to that certain comic. But Batman Unburied Season 2, it deals with Harvey Dent being captured by the Court of Owls, and they pretty much torture him, dude. They pretty much, torture him, mentally fucking scar him to the point where he develops the Two-Face, persona. And not only do they mentally torture him, they physically torture him, I believe, by using owls. Some owls, or it was either owls or the talons, but they basically fucked up his left face to the point where, like, he became Two-Face. And I have a feeling that, Matt Reeves might take inspiration from that and, the Court of Owls saga. And you're probably also wondering, like, well, Shimon, like, how do you know it's going to be the Court of Owls? Well, they tease it heavily in Batman Part 1 and in Penguin. In Batman Part 1, when that dude had that bomb strapped to his neck, dude, he kept on saying, like, oh, this is much deeper than all of this. I can't, rat out, the person or the people I want to rat out because they'll come after me, my family, and other people that are closely connected to me or close to me. And some people might think like, oh well, no, that was directed towards Falcone, and it's like, is it really directed towards Falcone? Like, dude, they could like keep this in mind. This was live stream. Yes, some cops are under payroll by some mobsters and all that, but the good cops, dude, like what they could have done, that like the dude could have just say like, oh yeah, it was Falcone, like I'm a rat out Falcone. The good cops are gonna go after Falcone and everybody associated with them, and whoever's on their payroll as well, they're gonna arrest them as well. And they could have been, they could have done that, but no, I believe that was heavily teamed to be the Court of Owls. Cause like, look, like I said, like if he would have ratted out, he would have kept his loved ones and people close to him safe. And in the Penguin, dude, I believe Oz was like in that courtroom, or they did some scene in the courtroom, and what do you see in the courtroom? Curtains. And what does the curtains look like? Owls, man. Like, come on, dude. That basically tells us like, yeah, the Court of Owls are like, they are the ones calling the shots in Gotham. And Matt Reeves has also said in interviews like, this movie will deal mostly with Bruce Wayne and his past, and everything associated with Bruce Wayne. And like in the Court of Owls comics, they're heavily tied to Bruce Wayne's past, like within Great Grandpa. Some people said that he was going crazy because he kept on talking about like the owls or the talon is like coming after me, and he fell inside of his like this like sewer fucking manhole or whatever. But turns out it was actually the Court of Owls, or one of the talons that actually killed Bruce Wayne's great grandpa, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments. I believe he got killed by one of the talons. Not only that, dude, like I'm pretty sure one of Bruce Wayne's buildings, a hidden room of the Court of Owls is in there, because in the comics, that happened. I believe it was Wayne Tower or Wayne Manor, where in the comics there was a hidden Court of Owls room you know, inside. And Bruce Wayne didn't even know, or Batman didn't even know. Batman was like, holy shit, like it was under my nose the whole damn time and I didn't even fucking know. So dude, I hope they tackle that. And I hope, you know, Harvey Dent's father is connected to the Court of Owls and he's uses his son for like some like, you know, political game or whatever, and you know, makes him become Two-Face. But that's it for me, man. What do you guys think? Like, how do you guys think this story's gonna go down, and who do you think the villain's gonna be? Because I have, to be honest, I have no clue. I would like to hear your thoughts down below. I'll catch you guys in the next video.